All right, all right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Live with Miss Steph. You have not seen me from here in a while. I know that. So I am coming on and we are resuming. It's a promise I'm making to you all, or rather a commitment to the community, that we are going to resume regular lives with Miss Steph. Hi, my name is Stephanie E. Farmer, founder and executive director of Triple F Empowerment Inc. We inspire, empower, and encourage young people to pursue education and careers in the STEAM fields. If you don't know what STEAM is, you can think of it as STEM plus art. And the plus does not mean it is an afterthought. It means it is an intentional plus. So science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. That's what STEAM is. And we have been doing STEAM education and empowerment in Harlem officially since 2012. But I have been working with young people in Harlem for now going on what is my 21st summer consecutive. My 21st consecutive summer camp, just to be super clear with you how long I've been doing this. And what I've been doing here in Harlem. The other program that I ran was not specifically a STEAM program, but I guarantee you any of my kids from then will tell you that yes, Miss Stephanie was doing science and she was doing art, and we were having a great time. So yeah, super excited to be with you all today. Come on in. Really want to make it super clear the different things that we have happening, what we have happening, the value that we contribute to the community, some shout outs, as well as letting you know what I have been up to. If you haven't caught it, like, there's stuff that we as an organization have been doing, and then there's different things that I have been out and about doing. If you've been following the stories, you know that I have been doing the following. Let's list it. Let's let you know what I have done. T-Mouse, Thurgood Marshall Academy Lower School. On Thursday evening, I was blessed, super thankful to get to see their gala, their annual show. These kids did, I lost count. I lost count, so because I was so engulfed in the quality of the production. Shout out to Ms. Moore for her excellence and just like the fantastic things that she does with the young people there. Of course, shout out to Miss Ward, their principal, and all the other kids and staff that are there. Other things that you may have noticed that I did a couple of weeks before, I was at the T-Mouse, what was that? Their field day, and I made soda explode into the air because why not? And I'm so excited, so fortunate that I got to do that for the entire school. So we had like 100 some odd children deep in their little play area that they have, and we had a great time. We literally were everybody singing observation song, parents were there and all that. So that's one of the things that I've been up to, is going around closing out the traveling science teacher season, not the program, people. The program is still happening, and if you want for this upcoming year, notice how I'm saying it clearly and unapologetically. If you want me to come, me and my staff, to come for the 2026-2027 school year, you need to contact me now. Spots are filling up. Okay, so that's one thing that I got to do. Thurgood Marshall Academy Lower School, not only their field day on June 3rd, but also then I got to witness the beautiful show that they presented this past Thursday. Other things that I got to do, I was at Chloe Day School's moving up ceremony the day before on June 17th. So shout out to Chloe Day School for all the work that they are doing and the fantastic things that the children get to do, because what's important about starting young, that's one of the things that we do, and I'll talk to you more about that later in the live. When you start early on in a child's educational experience, presenting certain things and setting expectations for them, they know that a performance should be a certain kind of level of things. And so I got to see certain children that I have seen at other at certain early childhood centers, see them then present at the T-Mouse gala and see them present in that, and their families have certain expectations because of the experiences that they had at the early childhood center. So it matters. How early you start matters. Waiting till when you think a child is ready to do dance, when you think they're ready to be introduced to soccer, because Chloe Day, by the way, does soccer with kids, hello, or young children, when you think they're ready to hear science and you want to wait until middle school, that's too late. They have already decided they're not a scientist, by the way, dropping some gems here and making it super clear. So Thurgood Marshall, Chloe Day, other things that I was at. On June 6th, I had the pleasure, y'all, there's a whole calendar, not a calendar, but like a list of events back here. On June 6th, I had the pleasure of being at the Community Initiatives of New York's event that they had in the Bronx. Now, guess what? They're going to have something in August here in Harlem. Be ready. Be there. Okay? So shout out to them. Super excited of working with them. That was the first time I had the opportunity to do an event, not necessarily with them. Like, I didn't help organize the event. I want to be super clear when I'm shouting these folks out, is that they are organizing these things and we're getting invited to participate at the level and with the expertise that we bring, which is fun. We make science fun anywhere we go, to these fantastic community events that are free for the community and enhancing the experiences of the families that are living there in the space. So yes, the Community Initiatives of New York did something on June 6th in the Bronx, and we got to do that. Other things, NYC Kids Fest. I'm just doing a roll call of stuff that I have been at. For those of you wondering, where has Miss Steph been? Why hasn't she done a live? Why? That's because I have been at all these things. Again, making science fun and bringing our expertise and all those things to these specific events and really closing out Traveling Science Teacher the school year in a positive and in a strong fashion. All right. So yes, NYC Kids Fest, we were at the Friday and the Saturday of this. This is an annual performing arts festival that also has multiple tents and tables, and all of us come and we bring fun activities. If you didn't catch it, we did something a little special this year. You know, typically we don't pass out kits until the December event that we do over at Sugar Hill Creamery. Shout out to them. They had fantastic thing for the Knicks basketball championship. A fantastic thing that they did. So shout out to them. If you want to know more about them, they're here on Instagram as well. But yeah, so usually for Giving Tuesday, that's our time when we give out STEAM kits. Well, guess what? We were giving out our DIY card kit for the first 20 young people that came up to our table at the Friday, which was June 12th, and on the Saturday. You missed it. And of course, we gave out slime to everybody that came up to the table. But for the first 20 kids on Friday and the first 20 kids on Saturday, they got a DIY car engineering kit. Engineering being the use of our math and science knowledge to solve a problem. And so that was absolutely fantastic that we were able to do that. And so we gave out, I mean, you do the math, right? We gave out a total of actually 41 kits, because my model kit, actually 42, because the model kit I gave out at both locations. So I made 42 because I made enough to give out the model kit at the very end. And so that was super exciting to hang out with folks there. Then also on Saturday, these events are not necessarily, are they in order? They are in order. Saturday, I had the pleasure, just to be super clear, this woman's content is trademarked. So I am communicating that I went there. I am not using her content. Go to her pages. She's got YouTube pages. No, I'm saying that before I say her name. I just want to be super clear. that this is not something that I organized. I am stating that I attended it because it's important for you all to know. Y'all know how I am with like you inspiring, empowering, encouraging. How do I empower you? I let you know about the different things that we're going to, and I encourage you. And also for those of you who are supporting us and providing funding to us, I want you to be aware of how I am actively, Stephanie E. Farmer, founder and executive director of Triple F Empowerment Inc., the home of Miss Steph Science Club. How am I actively working to improve not only our resource acquisition, but then the management of our resources? I do that through increasing my knowledge. And one of the ways that I increase my knowledge is by engaging with other people here who are here online as well as in person. And so this woman had an in-person event. Her name is the Fantastic. I'm adding the Fantastic, but anybody who's met her knows. Erica Jordan Thomas, Dr. Erica Jordan Thomas. And she has a book that is out. If you want more information, go research and get that information. The book is called Seven Figure Educator. And I went to the New York tour stop to get built up and to gain more information about this running the business. There's a way, you know, sometimes folks don't realize that nonprofit, yes, there is a, there's specificities that I'm not going to get into, but I'm just going to highlight. But there's specificities around running a nonprofit organization at the same time. In addition, so we actually have additional stuff, frankly. It's not less. We have additional stuff. So we have certain things that we need to meet as well as responsibly run a business. And so interacting with certain individuals like this fantastic person and following and all that type of stuff is one of the ways that I personally have chosen to do that. Other things that we got to do is we interact with other nonprofits. Even if they don't do our thing, we interact with them. And so I had the pleasure of going to Harlem Wellness Center. And this organization is founded by the fantastic Vivian Williams-Kurtz. Harlem Wellness Center, HWC, is their abbreviation. Their event that they had this past Saturday on June 20th, they did wellness in the city. And for those of you who are not aware, I am a vocalist. I will say that proudly. I don't always talk about it as much as I really probably should. It's one of the reasons why I'm so not only intentional, but so emphatic about the fact that art and science absolutely go together. They are like not separate things, because they dwell in me quite peacefully. There's no friction there. And so I love live music. And I also like live music that's, I don't want to say different, but intriguing. I'll put it that way. And feels kind of earthy. If you know what I mean. And so it was lovely to be, I don't remember everybody's name, so I'm going to just encourage you to go check out their pages and their information. Harlem Wellness Center, and they had a fundraiser because, again, we celebrate other organizations. There's enough for everybody. There's no need for me to only talk about what we're doing. And so they had an event. It was lovely over at Plowshares. Again, I'm name dropping places and organizations and other businesses. And so this is what I have been up to. I have not just been sitting. I have been doing a bit of sitting. But when you're wondering, okay, why is Miss Steph not going live? Because she's running around doing things. And also working on my own wellness. So Harlem Wellness Center, they did Wellness in the City on Saturday. Fantastic. Phenomenal. If you want more information, go check them out. But that is some of what I've been up to. In addition to, like I said, closing out Traveling Science Teacher and all that type of stuff and the other things that you see that's like, if you can see behind me, we had several commitments over the last couple of weeks. So that's been fun. So what have we been doing? hanging out with all those people. So hi, everybody. For those people I just shouted out, hello. Thank you for all the work that you're doing here in the community and nationally, some of you. And just really, it was super fun. It was great to be built up at the Harlem Wellness Center event. One of the things, because again, wellness is, well, not again, but just in case you're not aware, wellness at Harlem Wellness Center is looked at physically, spiritually, and mentally. Okay. And one of the things that we were asked to do to engage community-wise, because community is one of their pillars, just like ours. Hello, you see how this works, and community is one of the pillars for the Seven Figure Educator as well. So you see, this is why I'm at these things. And then with TCIONY, community is in their name. So you see that there are all these layers. Community schools, TMLAS is a community school. You see the pattern here. You should see the pattern. So yeah, so really great time with them, with all these different people. NYC Kids Fest, community is a big thing for them. Chloe Day, community, big thing for them. And not just the community, their internal community for the organizations or schools or businesses, plowshares. Community is one of their anchor things as well. But the broader community, okay, the geographical community, each of those organizations, people, businesses, that is one of their pillars. Actually, if I look at patterns, right? As scientists, you look at patterns, okay? You look at the pattern, you point it out, and then go from there and use that information to navigate, right? So that's one of the things that actually, all of those things that I just mentioned that I have been at. And so really engaging in the community in those ways and being at events and learning and really being inspired. And like I said, at the, or rather, as I was leading into one of the questions at the Harlem Wellness Center event, Wellness in the City, when it was time for us to mingle and not just network, it was very intentional. When it was time for us to gather and communicate with each other and reconnect, because there are some people that were there that I had not seen in years. One person in particular doesn't even live here anymore, but I was blessed to get to see her, and it was super, super fun. And she and I got plenty of time to chit chat. But one of the questions was, what has inspired you lately? And for me, going to events, and in particular seeing young people be excellent, that has been very inspiring for me over the last couple of weeks. 3 weeks, really. Now, let's talk about what we have happening. What is going on? What can you be at? What can you support? How can you engage? So, July, couple of clarifications. Registration for Summer Science Club 2026 is closed. I closed registration. I told y'all I was closing registration. And as someone who likes to be super clear with her communication and make sure that everybody knows what's happening, I called around, I text people, I told people registration is closing on the 18th. So if you missed it, you missed it. You are more than welcome to come to some of the things that I'm about to, not all, okay, some of the things that I'm about to tell you about, and you're definitely welcome to get yourself ready to join us for Saturday Science Club when it does launch in October. I'm telling you October now, and you're like, oh, October is far away. It's really not. We are in the 6th month based on our calendar, and October is our 10th month. I'm telling you, October is Raphael, okay? So get yourself ready. And come to some of the things that I'm about to talk to you about so that you know whether or not your child is a good fit for October. All right. As far as what we have coming up, on July 6th, we are launching Summer Science Club 2026 with our Science Week. So families, you'll be getting emails. Families who are registered, you're going to be getting an email from me to get clarification around what time and date you need to show up or send a trusted family member. And family that's your definition, but a trusted family member to the orientation that's going to happen next Monday. And yes, everyone has to come. If you have already been to Summer Science Club 2025 or 2024 or 2023, that's nice, but you still need to come to the Summer Science Club 2026 orientation. Super important that everybody attend. Again, send a trusted family member at a specific time and location, and only the families who are properly registered for Summer Science Club 2026 will be getting the information for the parent orientation, because it's not a public event. And also for Summer Science Club 2026, the day that it launches, y'all, I will most likely go live if there's time. Y'all know how I am. I'll go live or post something. There's gonna be posts, there's gonna be things. But we are 2 weeks away. I'm super excited and just in shock that it's like coming up. But at the same time, we have done this. I told you, this is my 21st consecutive summer camp that I have directed, not just been a part of, directed. We plan, I'm looking at the t-shirts right now, because you all know my home is our supply location. And this is where I plan and do a lot of the just prep work for a program. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm super excited about, I'm just kind of checking to make sure that I'm running on time and I'm not just like chatting with y'all, because again, there's stuff to do. Yes, some sitting, because I do need to decompress from all the things that we've been doing this school year. The school year has been a lot. At the same time, there are planning and there are activities and there are specific dates and appointments that I need to make. So July 6th, summer camp is launching. Parent orientation, you'll get an email. If you don't get the email, that means you're not part of camp. But do keep us in mind and do be excited for us, because I will be doing my post so that you can try the activities at home or in your center. Because I believe in sharing. Okay? Now, will they get the direct experience of the full-on Miss Steph shenanigans? No. But can you try the stuff at home? Yeah. No problem with that. All right, August 1st. This is the event you want to be at. This is a free event, and this is open to the public. August 1st. 4th Annual Youth Explosion. This is the first time that we are participating. But Miss Steph Science Club will have her fun table, our fun table, not to talk about myself in the third person, but we will have our science fun table. Now, there are a certain amount of kits. The number I have not released yet, but I will release how many kits we will have. And then, of course, while supplies last, slime will be passed out. And when the slime runs out, we're going to be making eruptions. Okay, so we are prepared and we are ready. Those of you who are interested in volunteering for this event, you need to contact me by the end of July. You need to contact me by July 25th. And that's all of my returning volunteers, any new volunteers. If you want to be a part of the Youth Explosion, you need to contact me by July 25th if you're wanting to volunteer and or work one of those shifts. Because we will be there from 12 to 4 p.m. So there'll be a setup shift. There'll be all kinds of stuff. I'm telling you, there's a lot. Okay, and I know I'm giving you a lot of information but this is my first live in some time, and so I need to really break down. I know I do my walk and talks, but this is my first live me sitting here in a while. So that's why I'm giving you so much information. Clock it, get it, do grab what you need, whatever you don't need, keep it moving, But August 1st, the 4th Annual Youth Explosion, and that event is organized by, like I said, my new friends, the community initiatives, and that's how Mrs. Janet runs that initiative and is doing lots of work over there. All right, then August 6th, I am opening the Liberty Science Center field trip to children who have been to Science Club before. Your kid doesn't. So if you wanted, this is not like a open to like just anybody in the community, but it is relatively open enough to where I need to announce this. This is for children who have already participated in a Miss Steph Science Club event. Okay. Well, not event, but program. So Saturday or summer camp kids, returning Saturday or summer camp kids, your child does not have to have been registered for this summer, but your child does have to be a kid who we have had at something Saturday or summer science club in the past. Okay. If your child is already registered for summer science club 2026, they're automatically invited and automatically factored into the count. But you do need to let me know by mid-July, July 15th, if you want to come on that. Full summer science club registration is not required, but we do need to sign you up in some fashion. So I need to know by a certain time, because we got to make sure we have enough buses. Well, enough bus, right? I need to make sure I get a big enough bus. We need to order enough tickets, because that particular ticket needs to be ordered in advance. We have to organize the lunch when we get there, all kinds of stuff. You know, I don't play with the order and the structure when it comes to doing science club field trips. And so this is a field trip that is open to returning Saturday and summer camp children for August 6th, Liberty Science Center. Okay? And then September, the last Saturday in September, I know this seems far away, but again, it'll be here before you know it. This is actually going to be another shout out, and this is a returning partner from last year, a partnership that we gained last year, the Columbus Amsterdam bid. We're going to be doing their open streets again. And what's super exciting is we're going to do their open streets twice. Okay, so we're going to do one in September, the last Saturday in September, and then we'll do one on October 24th. People, really don't miss these things, because when we're outside, this is when you really get to see the shenanigans, as well as it's a time to meet us. We have several, one of the functions, just to be super clear, one of the functions of us being out in the community is so you can meet me and decide whether or not you want to send your child to any of our open registration programs, right? If you want to do Saturday program or summer camp, the stuff that we do during the summer, okay, from May through October. I know October is not in the summer, but you know what I'm saying. May through September, those are times for you to get yourself situated to see if you want to register for Saturday Science Club. And Saturday Science Club registration is rolling. Saturday Science Club registration won't start until September. I'm just being super clear about that, because all of these things need to be done in an orderly fashion. And of course, I will go on my annual Miss Steph adventures in August. Okay, so that's what's coming up. Okay, that's what's coming up. Now, as far as how you can engage some conversation that I want you to know about, contact. So you can reach out to me at MS. I'm going to throw it in the chat, and of course I will throw it. Boom. That's my email address. This is where how you can follow. Okay, if you want to know what is happening, if you want like a day-to-day, if you really feel you need a day-to-day, because in the summer I post every day, like a lot, multiple times a day in the summer. So if you're like, I want to know what's happening and where's Miss Steph and what's the experiment of the week and all that type of stuff, follow me on Instagram. That is the best way to do that. Follow Miss Steph, the science lady, on Instagram. I need an idea. My kid can't come to camp, but I need an idea. We need to do something. We are in this apartment. We are in this house. We are in this backyard. What can we do? The stuff is there. That's what you need to do. You can engage on the YouTube channel as well. Miss Steph's YouTube channel. Literally, it's called Miss Steph's YouTube channel. Okay, check that out. If you don't see this face, you're in the wrong place. Okay. those are things. Now, for those of you who are wanting to support us, because we absolutely do still need your support, we remember we have a goal. Not had a goal. We have a goal. We are still very focused working towards that. We raised a lot of funds. We raised over 75% of what we need to be fully funded for Summer Science Club 2026. We're still pushing towards that goal, y'all. This is what's left. And honestly, this number, this is like, if you work this out, right? If 10 people gave us $400, we would be done. What are you giving to? What is the value that you're pouring into the community? So, vocabulary, time, and hands-on experience. So let's break this down further. Young people frequently are lacking the vocabulary for them to navigate science courses. So the mission, our vision is to inspire, empower, encourage, right? But as far as what we're physically doing, what we offer to make that vision come to light, come to fruition, the thing that we're doing is giving them the vocabulary to be able to operate at high levels in their future science courses. Okay? You're thinking to yourself, but Ms. Steph, how do you know that it actually works? I know it works because go ahead and check out Sienna's video. I'm calling her out by name because Sienna's video is one of our videos that we were posting when we were getting ready for the fundraiser. Sienna will tell you that because of this program, she is at a high performing college right now, getting a biochemistry degree. Period. Okay? Check out Jalen's video. Jalen's in college, debate team, doing different things. Check out her video. There are things that they simply need, but are not getting through school. That's not happening. So that's why you need Miss Steph Science Club. Miss Steph Science Club is doing stuff that kids need, but they're not getting in school. Period. So vocabulary. Time. We all know you need 10,000 hours to be an expert at something, to like function at like high performing level. Our kids are getting less than 40 minutes, really 30, like as far as the actual practical, what I'm seeing when I'm looking at just physically being in spaces, our children are getting less than 30 minutes of science a week. So you do the math. If you're getting less than 30 minutes of science a week during the school year, not even every week, right? The school year is barely 36 weeks a year. I'm going to knock off 6 of those weeks because science at a lot of our schools, and I'm not just talking public schools, private, charter, at a lot of our schools, it's not the whole school year. So it's like, let's kick that down to 30 weeks. So 30 minutes times 30, you do that math. That's how much time kids are getting in a year. So how long would it take you to get to 10,000 hours? Or even to just get to proficient, which is more like 2,000 hours. To just be okay at something. Vocabulary, time. The third thing that we do is hands-on. To be an engineer, to be a true tinkerer, to be somebody who knows how to use basic materials. When I worked as a bench chemist, one of the things we had to do, I didn't just need the book knowledge. I didn't need to just show my degree. I had to physically pipette something and use the balance accurately. For 2 of the interviews I went on. After they saw my resume, after they talked to me, were like, oh, you're great. Like, you would be great in the community, just because I present well in community just anyway. That's just one of my gifts, period. But I still needed to be able to physically actually show I could do the physical work of being that type of scientist. The thing that we always think of science, like to be a doctor, okay? There are so many other ways to be a scientist that contributes to the community, but I'm going to use being a doctor as an example. Being a doctor involves not only knowing the stuff, but you have to be able to communicate, again, vocabulary. There's a certain amount of time you're circulating when you're learning it. And then you need to actually be able to hands-on do the thing. But if you don't have the practice of hands-on doing the thing, you are not functional as a physician. You're not. And physicians have to do all that stuff to be ready. And so when we're wanting our kids to go off and do different things, if they don't have the hands-on experience and they cannot demonstrate that ability, in addition to saying they're smart enough, okay, they're not getting that position. Because they cannot demonstrate that they can accurately give accurate results. One of the things that any type of scientist, reproducibility. Okay? So, what do we do? What's our value of Science Club? Because someone essentially asked me that this weekend. And by the way, if you happen to be watching this video, thank you for asking me that. This is great content. What vocabulary? We're vocabulary, like the book knowledge. Okay? Time, the time and exposure, you just need to constantly have enough time with a subject, with a skill, all that stuff. And then the opportunity to work the skill. When you see kids playing with Legos, that is a technique. That's them doing STEAM. Let them do that. As long as you're not, a parent at home having to step over Legos, right? You put them in a certain section, all that type of thing. But them working with the Legos takes a lot of fine motor skill. They're doing a lot. They're doing multiple calculations. There's quite a bit of math with Lego to be able to put the bricks in a certain place, to make sure that it's balanced. All those things, they're doing that at the same time. Every time I see these types of activities, slime. Why do you give out slime and Stephanie? It's messy. I know it is messy, but slime hits all 5 letters of STEAM, and it makes you have to think, and it makes you really learn technique. There's a kid that we gave slime to here on the 13th. It was so fantastic to get to see the kid. He was really working and manipulating the material, being able to use the tools, manipulate materials. That is an important skill that has to be demonstrated. Vocabulary, time, hands-on. Okay? What value are we presenting? That's our value that we are giving. We're not just like saying it. We do that and do that regularly, and it results in children going to high-level colleges. Those are our results. Okay? If it's not all the way to college, it results in children knowing things that other kids don't know early. Okay? So we have students who have expressed that they remember, because we present it in a way that lets them remember, because again, we do all 3 of those, the vocabulary, the time with it, multiple exposures, and the hands-on with it, so that it anchors in their person. Okay? We have a kid, and I've said this multiple times to y'all before, but maybe this is your first time listening to one of my lives. And I'm going to finish with this. One of our students, it anchors in my mind because it's so important. One of our students, there was a couple of incidents events and things that this particular parent has communicated, because she's it's a family we're still in contact with. That's another thing that we do. We keep in contact with families for a long time. And in very positive ways, like to the point to where families will update me. It's like, oh, Miss Stephanie, so-and-so is doing this. Like, we have one kid, again, remember when I was saying that I got to see people at the Harlem Wellness Center event, that the mom was like, oh yeah, my kid is literally presenting at the Whitney. And I'm not making, this is an actual thing. And she's like, you were a part of Now, am I the one reason she's at the Whitney? No. Am I one of the reasons? Yes. This is what we're doing. So yeah, so anyway, two things that happened with this family. So one was an actual practical, something happened to the vehicle. They're out driving, and both of the girls get out, help dad, and they're looking at her like, no, you have to make sure that you connect the wires properly, because in science club, now mind you, this is something I taught them years ago, but we exposed them multiple times to how electricity functions, and positive to negative, all those things, and how it needs to run. The circuit, it must be a complete circuit, because for those of you who do not know, that's how cars start, through an electrical spark. Okay, well, not spark, but to electrical, the electrical functioning properly. So yeah, that's why your battery, like even if you have gas, if your battery is low or not properly charged, your car can't start, because electricity is part of, and combustion vehicles run on two things. Okay. Anyway, so that being said, family. So the mom told me later, yeah, this happened. The girls were literally able to tell my husband, hey, this is what we learned in science club, and that you have to make sure that the car is connected properly, because they were getting a jump. Oh, you have to connect it to here, and this is... They were young at the time. They were barely teenagers, both girls. Same family. Later, child came in 4th grade to summer science club. In 6th grade, she's sitting in a class doing a hydraulic project with, and I know I've told y'all this before, but again, you might be new here. So this is at school, in middle school. So we did this, she was in elementary school. In middle school, and she's telling the teacher how to hook it up properly, because we did this, a model of hydraulics 2 years before. So not only are we doing vocabulary, we're doing enough time with it, and we're doing hands-on, so it anchors, so that 2 years later, kids are able to remember and then communicate it and be able to function at a high level in their STEAM courses, because of what they've learned at Miss Steph Science Club. Not just seen, not noticed, learned. You know how I know they learned it? Because they were able to communicate it and use that knowledge. Okay? So yeah, this has been Live with Ms. Steph. Thank you so much for watching, hanging out with us, learning more about what's going on right now at Miss Steph Science Club, hearing all the adventures that I've had the last couple of weeks. And really, let's get ready for Summer Science Club 2026. It's going to be a blast. We have, as usual, our field trips every week. Every child is going to get their STEAM toolkit. So they'll get their own crayons, their own markers, their own lab coat, and their own fresh. Just because you had one before does not mean you have to use that same. No, I give them this stuff new each year, because children need new sets of things every year. And so that's why when we're fundraising, I want you to have an understanding of, yes, there may be some kids that are returning and some kids that are new. Everyone gets a new batch of everything. Children grow physically, materials get old, so we do need new materials. Some materials, yes, can be used over and over again, but after a while, they age and the equipment needs to be replaced, okay? And so really appreciate you all, again, for watching Live with Ms. Steph, and those are the ways that you can get a hold of us. I mentioned it before, but I'm going to say it again. My email is MSSTEPH, so Ms. Steph, not Miss, but Ms. Steph, okay? MSSTEPH at tfempowerment.org. That's my email address. Follow me on Instagram, Miss Steph TFE_TFE, the science lady, MSSTPH_TFE. You can check me out on YouTube, Miss Steph's YouTube channel. And how much are we raising? We have, we're so close to our goal. Y'all have no idea how close $4,000 is. Like, it really is something that you as our community, I know, are going to make happen for us. We're at just under $4,500 to be, that's what we need to be fully funded for Summer Science Club 2026, for kids to have a great time, for the field trips to be funded, and healthy snack, all the things that we do. Staff, because we pay our young people well. We have graduating high schoolers that are going to be working for us.